Hi everyone. Hi. Today exceptionally on a Sunday. When I say exceptionally means I might do it like more times. Maybe I change to Sunday. I don't know. I'm kind of improvising. I'm doing not improvising. I'm doing some tests to see how things work better for me, for my routine, and like what's better for you guys, for people to watch me too. So I'm doing some tests, and if I like feel that Sunday worked better for the live, then I'm changing from Thursday to Sunday, and it's fine. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to check it out. Like usually Sunday we have You Make Story. So I'm going to release the You Make Story on Thursday just to have like my video on Thursday. If I don't do another live on Thursday, let's see how it goes. So um my cat. Exceptionally, which might not be exceptional, we are having on Sunday the live, and I was like so excited about doing it because this story, I had this idea. It's a love story, and I had this idea based on some of my experiences. I have a blog that is the witchgrimoire.com. The name of the blog is The Writer Spirit, but you can find on the witchgrimoire.com. It's my blog that I talk about the experiences I have and how it connects, like the experiences I have, like regarding my spirituality and how they connect with um, the things are right. I mean, my texts, everything, the stories are right. Some are like very based on my experiences, and the story today had several aspects. Let me say like that are very alike what I have lived or have been living, and things that I had experienced. So, and it's a cute love story. I have to say that I'm very proud of it. I thought it was going to be just like easy short story, but in the end, I think I was like really, creative and inspired whenever I wrote, because it's like one of the longest tales that I have, right? And I like it so much that I'm going to add to my second tales book. Not the book that is coming, The Roots of the Falling. The Roots of the Falling is a novel. It's going to be a trilogy. But I'm writing at the same time my second books of tales that it was like already being written when in the main turn that I'm writing my novel. And it's almost done. So I was like ending the last tale, and then I just decided I'm going to add this one as well. So it's going to be a little bit longer, this book, but it's okay. And because I really like it. And I have there are like two ends. And honestly, um this story, I wanted a happy ending. So I gave them a happy ending because it's like a beautiful love story and I identified with it, so of course I'm not going to ruin it. And then I just did like some changes regarding the, how can I say, responsibility that people can take or not in like making a relationship work, like partnering up or not, you know, and like how that make difference. That's pretty much how it works, but it's like it's good anyway. It's good anyway. And also talk about like how our previous experiences sometimes can affect our most recent experiences, and how we have to, work these emotions and the feelings we have to, so we can, be healthy and make sure we can be good for the people that come into our life to stay. So And it talks about the timing of the right people in our life. It talks about approaches like several aspects, and of course it has magic because I write fantasy, so it had to have magic. If it doesn't have magic, it's like not something that I have wrote. I always write with magic. Um, Even if it is just like a fairy tale. Like my last You Make story, it was like a fairy tale style. It was like this Disney princess like having a happy ending thing. There wasn't like nothing particular magic in it. It was just like the real life magic of people being happy and having a happy ending. The second part, I think I posted. It was this week. I can't remember. It took a little bit longer than I thought because that one I did differently. I did a test to see if people would like the videos more. So I did the subtitles myself, and it's very pretty. Like the subtitles, just not like regular subtitles. I make it them beautiful. And the video is not just the B-roll classic that I'm using right now. It's like true AI video, like cinematic. So you check it out, guys. See if you like it, and let me know because like it's a lot of work to do like this style. But if you truly like it, then I'm just going to keep doing it. Okay. At least for You Make a Story, I want to keep it that style because they're like shorter, and I can properly do it. But you guys let me know because like in some point I already need help. It's like too much work for one person, but whenever I can have my help, then I'm just like spending more time doing like the videos this style. I have been doing some tests and I'm very excited. Okay, so I started at like 1 minute earlier. I'm going to wait a little bit longer to see if there's going to be like more people joining because it's still like very early. And I didn't post it to let people know that I'm live, like on Instagram. And very likely that I'm not going to do it because I'm lazy. No, I'm just going to do it. Am I doing it? I don't know. No, I'm not. I'm not. Doesn't matter. So I'm just going to wait to see if there's going to be more people watching before I start the story. This story is like a little bit longer than I'm used to write, and I'm very proud of it. I have to say I'm very proud. And what I'm going to do today is like, because I only have 2 endings, I can actually show you instead of just telling you. So I'm doing all this tests to see because it's my first live, so I think this is the 3rd or 4th. I'm not. I think it's the 4th. I'm not sure. So I'm just doing different tests to see how people will like it more and see like what it's like more interesting. So like I had more options before. This time I only have 1 because if I only have 1, I can just show you instead of just telling you what happens because people want to know what could happen in the alternative endings. So instead of telling you, I'm just going to show. I'm just going to show. So you will have an idea of like how things like change between one and the other. So I'm not going to say which one it is because I'm going to like show you the introduction and then I'm going to stop and wait for like see if people are going to vote. Because right now the choices are even, so it's like there are exactly the same amount of votes for each option. So I'm going to stop and wait to see. I'm going to be back to you guys and we can chat a little bit longer, like extra 5 minutes, and you can vote in the option you want. And like in the meantime, and then I'm going to show you the option you choose, and then I'm showing you the alternative one that it wasn't picked. And then like if I only have 2 options, I can show the whole video. So this is like another task that I'm doing to see if like, okay, I like that more. I don't care that much about like making a lot of votes, but I But oh no, I like to have more options and see how it goes if it is like, because like the first I had 5 options of final. That is the one I did on Halloween. So if I show like the whole 5, we're just going to stay here forever. And then I just told you. So you're going to know anyway. But then like watching is like more fun. So let's see how it goes. And let me see. I think I'm going to start. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? If you're ready, hi chat. Is everyone ready? I'm going to start the story because like this is like long. So if you need to get like your coffee, your tea, your Coke, whatever, popcorn, what do you want to get? If you need to go to the restroom, go now. Okay? I have my tea here too. Chamomile. Okay. Last chance. Everybody ready? Okay, we're starting the story. Okay? See you later.
Ali was stressed out with that rain. His curly hair was falling over his eyes, and the glasses were full of water drops, preventing him from seeing where he was going. His car was parked crossing the street, and he had too many bags to carry to bother opening the umbrella. His material was in paper bags, another dumb choice he made that day, and the gold powder was too expensive for him to waste by losing his stuff on the street. He was planning the ritual for a while, and he was intuited to perform that full moon, so there was no other day to go to the craft store, and he had to tolerate the wet inconvenience. At that point, he was used to following the instructions of Bartholomew, his mentor. 2 years before, when Ali initiated his studies and practices at a Druidry society, he was used to ignoring the instructions he was receiving from him, believing it was just his imagination. But with time he learned to understand the difference between a real manifestation of Bartholomew and his own creativity. His voice would speak clearly in Ali's mind, and his instructions for rituals and spells were always very accurate. Ali doubted himself for a while, especially because his fellows at the society didn't share the same experiences as Ali did, and were constantly questioning the veracity of his testimonies. Eventually, Bartholomew convinced him to abandon the society, first because Ali's dedication to study the occult gave him some knowledge over the lectures he was used to hearing there, and, second, because those people's skepticism was interfering in his process by undermining his self-confidence. And to his surprise, after Ali left the society, his evolution in the spells and rituals, as well as his communications with superior beings and his mentor, were remarkably fast, as he never imagined it could be before. That night, he was executing an abundance and prosperity spell to assist him in evolving his career and provide him with the resources to buy a better house, so that he could be far from people and close to nature to facilitate his enchantments and studies and preserve his peace of mind. Ali liked his apartment, but it was simple 2 rooms close to downtown that he bought because he could afford, not for being his first choice at all. Also, Bartholomew insisted he needed more space for the new people about to come into his life to be comfortable and feel welcome. Ali wasn't sure about what he meant, but he needed indeed more space for his books and magic tools, so he could craft properly. His job was remote, so he also needed an office to work in and not mix the energy with his sleeping room or the temple he made in the guest's room as it was in his apartment nowadays. The bags survived his short trip to the car and the rage he got from being wet and cold, and he drove back home, only 15 minutes away from his favorite esoteric store. The hairs on the back of his neck were standing on end as usual when he had a ritual to perform. The energy flow was already happening, and he knew Bartholomew was getting him ready to do it. Once home, he tried the service elevator but had a sign saying it was in use for moving until the next half an hour.
Crap. Worst moment for someone to be moving.
He exclaimed, walking through the parking lot towards the stairs to get the social elevator as the first floor. While he waited for the social elevator, he thought,
At least I am home. I need to calm myself and get ready for the ritual.
One of the bags then started ripping. That was a patience test Ali wasn't in the mood to go through. He came inside the apartment and pressed the 9th floor where he lived, and when he stepped out of the elevator, Allie bumped into a coffee table in the hall, right in front of his door, and the ripped bag fell apart, dropping his books and his new obsidian crystal ball into the floor. While he watched the ball rolling and took a deep breath to not curse over his sore ankle and stuff on the floor, a huge, fluffy, and completely white husky jumped over the table, coming from the open door of his front door neighbor, and started to play with his ball, wagging its tail and drooling all over the obsidian.
Oh my, I am so sorry. Bella, come here. That's not yours, and it's not a toy.
Allie watched a young lady come out from the door and grab the pink collar that the dog was wearing, pulling Bella back in. She got the obsidian ball and drying it at the hem of her own dress, the lady said.
I am very sorry, mister. Bella is a good girl, she is just so happy about meeting new people and her new house. I am Nora, nice to meet you.
She was blushing and was extraordinarily beautiful. Nora was tall, but shorter than him and curvy, with delicate hands, shining deep green eyes, and a beautiful smile, with dimples. Her hair was long and very straight, and was thrown at her left side, falling over her shoulders and covering her chest and half of her belly, in a dark profound red, like a full-bodied wine.
Nice to meet you too. I am Allie.
He answered, still annoyed but fascinated. She was smiling as she was amused by the situation, but could be also being distressing, if she was shy, as her pink cheeks were suggesting.
Let me help you with this,
Nora said, grabbing one of his bags and the books on the floor and allowing him to open the door of his apartment for her. It was messy as only a single straight guy apartment could be, but he didn't think about it before, and now it was too late to regret. But Nora didn't seem to bother at all.
I am moving today, didn't mean to cause this trouble to you. I thought the table was going to hold Bella in so I could finish cleaning the floor to put everything back in place in my living room. But clearly it was poorly calculated since she can easily jump over it.
And Nora laughed out loud, with the sweetest voice he had ever heard. Allie was smiling, and for a moment he forgot everything that bothered him that day, and he thought about offering her help with the move, but then he remembered his ritual and only said,
I understand, don't worry. I love dogs and I don't mind. Thanks for helping me, and let me know if there is anything I can do for you, and welcome.
He completed while Nora was walking out of his apartment.
Thanks, Allie, I will remember that.
And Nora left, closing the door behind her. Allie sighed and said to himself,
Don't do it. You have just broken up with Angie 11 months ago, and she was trouble enough in your life for you to avoid dating for the next 10 years.
Angela was the most angelic little demon he had ever seen. Outside, people believed she was great, very standard, pretty as a Barbie, sweet with his family, and his mother's favorite. Inside, she made him feel caged, suffocated, and overwhelmed with her demands. And in the end, she always made him feel guilty about not fulfilling her expectations, and would have his friends, mother, and everyone demanding that he should do more and better for her and their relationship. Allie in the beginning felt like a villain. Like someone incapable of loving or to be healthy in a relationship because he couldn't fit on her perfect mold of a boyfriend, and felt guilty for feeling so free and relieved after they broke up. But with the time passing by, he felt apart from everyone they knew, as she just took everyone to her side. Their friends and family were feeling sorry for her and for him ruining their perfect life. He moved out to his little apartment, and only his parents came to visit a couple times. None of their friends did, and the last time Allie bothered talking to them, they were insisting on him to get back together with Angie. His perspective changed completely after that. When it happened, Bartholomew told him,
You took too long to do it, but I am glad you set yourself free, finally. Your path isn't with her. She came to your life to teach you lessons. Once they were learned, she is no longer welcome. It's the natural path of life, and holding to something that was fated to end was only going to bring you pain and suffering as well.
Why didn't you tell me before, Bartholomew? I could have done it months, maybe years ago.
Because I respect your free will, my dear Allie. Don't worry, life goes the way it has to. And you needed to see, understand, and choose for yourself to evolve.
Allie still received some calls from Angela, and he didn't have the courage to ignore. But every time he would talk to her, he regretted. She had the power to make him feel wrong, and pressured, and always in debt with her, especially emotionally. She was draining him, and with the improvement of his skills at the craft, with his mentor's supervision, Allie noticed the huge drop of his energy when she reached him and how damaging it was to keep allowing Angela to contact him. Bartholomew called his attention to the ritual. The moon was almost at its peak and Allie was late with the preparations. He hurried to organize his table and the tools. He used a spray of rosemary. He had to purify his energy, as he wasn't going to have enough time to take his herbs bath and burnt sage all over his apartment to prepare the energy. Most of the items were ready at his improvised temple, and only a few items that he bought and were missing were easy to settle. Finally, he cast the protection circle and it was ready on time. Allie concentrated, and whenever he could see the silhouette of Bartholomew close to him, he started to pronounce the enchanting spell. He could feel his energy expanding and joining the energy that was flowing at his circle, and his back was tingling in a warm, comfortable sensation where Bartholomew was touching him. His eyes were closed and Allie was concentrating, perceiving the energy that was emanating from the circle, when he jumped scared with a bark. It was Bella, Nora's dog. She was sitting in his chair in the corner of the room looking at Allie, wagging her tail with her ears up and her tongue out.
How this dog came in.
Allie exclaimed, causing her to bark once more and come towards him, getting inside the circle and turning her belly up to receive some pettings. He didn't know how to proceed, so he turned his back to ask Bartholomew, but Allie couldn't feel him there anymore. The ritual was over.
Okay, troublemaker. Let me take you home to Nora. She's probably crazy worried about you now.
Allie took her by the collar to take her, but she gladly trotted to the door by his side and waited for him to open the door to her. Both his and Nora's doors were closed, what was remarkably weird, but he wasn't in the mood to find out what happened now. He knocked at Nora's door, and she answered with her toothbrush in her mouth, and wearing a cute Dumbo pajama, she said,
Hi Allie. How are? How did you went out, Bella? You were right here, right now.
And Nora looked around surprised, making Allie laugh out loud.
I don't know how she went out, and even less how she got into my apartment. Maybe she did it when we were chatting, and we didn't notice.
Really? Jesus, I am a horrible pet mom if I didn't miss her until now.
Nora said, making Allie laugh again, and while walking back to his door, he answered,
I am sure you are a pretty good pet mom. Good night for you both, and nice pajamas.
Thanks, I am a big Disney fan. I even have a tattoo, maybe I can show you one day.
And Nora closed the door, leaving Allie blushed with a dumb smile on his face, wondering about what she meant about it. Next day, Allie woke up in an unusual good mood and was humming a song while making his breakfast. He had a dream that he felt was good and maybe important, and he didn't want to forget. He had a dreams notebook by suggestion of Bartholomew that he usually writes all the meaningful dreams he has. In his dream, Allie was a knight and he was in a hard battle. The forces were even and he was tired, but a thought was stuck in his mind.
I have to go home for her. I promised we will die together when we are old.
And that gave him extra power and energy to fight. The dream then changed to him, going back home as a winner from that battle, with his heart jumping out of his mouth, anxious to see her again. And he woke up. The emotions were so strong, the joy of the victory, the emotion to see whoever he was on his way to see, filled him with happiness, and Allie still could feel it after he woke up. As always, Allie was going to run outside before showering and start to work in his notebook. He came out of his apartment to jog and was surprised by a dog jumping at his lap.
Bella. Be polite. You are a lady. I swear I have taught her better than that. I think she is just too excited about the new house, or she is in love with you. Come, let's go for a walk.
Nora tried to take her back from him, but Bella was determined to stay in Allie's lap.
Don't worry. I can carry her outside like the good girl she is.
Allie said, while Bella lay on his shoulder like a child and started licking his cheek. Nora started laughing out loud and hid her mouth, apologizing to him, making Allie laugh too. When the elevator arrived, Bella jumped inside and waited for them to join her.
Did you like the new apartment, Nora?
Oh yes, it's so much better than the previous one. And Bella has enough space for herself too, right girl?
Nora said, making Bella wag her tail. They walked together towards the front door and said,
Goodbye.
when Allie ran to one side and Nora walked to the other. Suddenly, Allie hears a yell
Bella, no.
and felt the dog hitting him in the back, licking his hands and face, before turning around and running back to Nora as fast as she came. Nora waved to him and moved her lips wide in a sorry, and Allie waved back to her, smiling. Once more he repeated in his mind,
No, no dating for you. Not at all. Especially with your front door neighbor. Later on, if it becomes a problem, you won't be able to avoid her.
And as if the demon could read his thoughts, Angela called Allie, and for the first time in his life he turned off the phone on her, without even picking it up. During the day, Allie was worried about his practice. He couldn't feel Bartholomew around him that day, what was peculiar, and he wasn't sure if his spell did work. He decided then to meditate on his lunch break and try to communicate with him. Sometimes when he wasn't feeling okay, he would find it hard to connect with Bartholomew, but he would find out a way to signal Allie that he was around and protecting him. That wasn't the case. Allie was abnormally happy, everything was fine, and for the first time he could remember, Bartholomew's energy wasn't detected by him. During his meditation, Allie tried hard to reach him, but it felt like something was off. He knew Bartholomew was there, but couldn't talk to him or listen. He felt an energy that was different than anything else he had experienced before. After half an hour trying, he gave up and decided to come back to his work, and in the last second with his eyes closed, he received an intuition. He was being tested. Allie didn't know what that meant, and there was no one to ask to, what made him anxious. He wasn't used to the silence anymore, and he didn't want to fail whatever test he had been going through. The day was boring and uneasy, he was overthinking the whole thing and couldn't wait for the work time to end. He went to the kitchen to make himself some pasta and put on some music, what he used to hear as a teenager, to sing along. That was a very efficient way for him to shut up his own brain. That was working, and he was feeling better and more relaxed. His pasta wasn't the best he ever made, but it was tasty enough to help with his mood, when he heard his phone ringing in his room. It was Angela again, and Allie decided to not let her take him out of his balance again after all the effort to get back to it, and turned off the phone one more time, changing to silence mode. When he was back in the kitchen, he watched Bella sitting in his chair with her face full of tomato sauce, and the pasta on his plate was all gone.
Bella? How did you? Okay, that's weird. Even for me. Come, let's go back home to your mom. No, wait. I can't give you back to your mom with this face full of sauce. She will kill me.
Bella barked in agreement, and while Allie was cleaning her face from the sauce, he was thinking,
How did I end up like this? How this dog keeps coming into my apartment.
And he heard Nora's voice from outside, and she sounded worried.
Bella? Where are you?
Okay, Bella. I couldn't do much about your face. It's kind of orange, so you will have to take the blame over there, okay? I did my best. Now let's go fast to calm down your mom.
Bella ran to the door as she understood the assignment, and Allie followed her, opening his door and watching Nora at the stairs door, yelling their calling for Bella.
I think you were looking for someone. Sorry for the tomato sauce. I didn't notice her coming into my apartment, and only found her when my pasta was on the game.
Allie said while Bella ran to Nora, and she was so happy petting and kissing her dog that she didn't even pay attention to him. Suddenly, Nora spontaneously hugged Allie and kissed him on the cheek, saying,
Oh, thank you. She usually behaves so well. Bella never ran away before. I was terrified and didn't even know where to start looking for her.
Allie noticed that Nora had tears in her eyes and smiled at her, saying,
If you have trouble, come to me. Apparently, she is a professional stealth and loves my apartment, so there is always a good chance she is here. But if she isn't, I can try to help you anyway.
Thanks, Allie. I appreciate it. We do, right, Bella? I think she is really in love with you.
Nora said, looking at Bella with the largest smile he had ever seen. Mentally, Allie was yelling at himself to shut up, but emotionally he was feeling like a kitty cat. Allie knew he was dumb smiling again to her and decided it was time to go back home. He said,
Bye.
to Nora and pet Bella before going back inside. Ali served himself with another plate of pasta and ate thinking about Nora. There was a feeling he couldn't understand properly, something she was making him feel, and it was too abstract that Ali didn't know how to describe. It was a mix of sensations, acknowledgement, understanding, protection, unexplainable warmth, a wish to smile, to be himself, and a will to enjoy life.
She feels like home.
Ali finally put it into words. That was confusing, and once more, he tried to reach Bartholomew and get some answers. Nothing. He didn't spoke with Ali, and he went to bed with mind full of diffuse thoughts. Once he lay in his bed, Bella jumped over to cuddle with him.
There is no way.
Bella made herself very comfy next to him and got ready to sleep. He then heard the knock at his door.
Nora.
Ali exclaimed. Without thinking, he ran to the door to open to her, but it was Angela.
Hi honey, finally I could reach you, can I come in?
Bella barked and growled at her, making Angela jump scare.
First, how did you get my address, and second, who allowed you to come?
Ali had never spoken with Angela like that. What shocked her? The growling continued and Angela answered.
Your mother. She knows how much I care for us and how hard I am trying to fix our relationship. She didn't tell me about the dog. When did you get it?
It's not of your business, Angela. I don't want to be rude to you, so please go away. There is no our relationship anymore, for a while now, and it won't have it again.
Ali had no idea where his words were coming from and felt impressed with his own behavior. Suddenly, he felt an energy behind him and looked over his shoulder, and by the corner of his eyes he saw the silhouette of a woman on a Victorian dress, petting Bella and staring at Angela.
Brutal. If I was you, I would go home after that answer, lady.
It was Nora. She had her shoulder resting on her porch and a sassy smile on her face.
Hi, I'm back. So that was the introduction. It was like kind of like long. It was maybe 20 minutes of introduction. So this is like the basic story, and we are in the part that Angela, which is Ellie's ex, just come trying something, and Nora like kind of catch the situation. She just appeared in the situation, and then the votes that you guys can choose, that you guys can pick, is like regarding what Nora is going to do. Okay, so you can choose between, where is it? Here. You can choose between the end one, which is make Angela to step back, and the second is console after conflict. That's like the options that Nora could do to help Ellie. And right now, it's still even. Still even. So I'm going to I'm going to wait a little bit longer to see if there's going to be more votes. And I'm also going to let the chat to decide. So thank you. It is cute, right? Yeah, I know. I'm very proud of this story. It's very romantic. So if the chat wants to decide, because we are even, like what she should do now that we know what is this about, and just remembering the options are like Nora make Angela to step back, or she console after conflict, so she will just like let him solve himself and not going to interfere. So that are the options, and just remember you're going to like watch both anyway, because I'm going to show you. Fala, filho. I don't know if you can hear my cat meowing. He wants a lot of attention now. So you guys let me know what you prefer, and you're going to watch the two ends anyways, so that's pretty much it. She can interfere, or she can just let him solve by himself. That I like the options. And how, like, she's dealing with the situation. Ah, no one's choosing it. Ah, someone choose. If you like, honestly, I would pick my favorite option is when. Where's the cat? Where's the cat? See? Cat? Cat? That's my cat. Soluço. He wants attention. Filho. Parece. You wanna say hi to people? Say hi to people. He wants a lot of attention. Para, filho. That's my cat. He's the star of my life. Okay, so my favorite choice is to interfere because I kind of like to, pick a fight. It's just my way to do things. I kind of like, I don't know. If I get to choose, I would probably choose to take an action instead of, let go. But like technically it's like Alice's issue, so she could just, let him solve his own way instead of, just messing with it. Okay. Oh, the chat chose, so we are going to send Angela away. Okay, it's chosen. We are going to send Angela away, and then I'm going to show what happens if she doesn't send Angela away. Okay? Filho. He's still in here. He still wants attention. Filho. He's chatty boy. I don't know if you can hear him. He's a chatty boy. Very handsome. Né, filho? Lindo, mãe. Okay, so let's continue the story because the end is also long and I'm going to show both endings. So let's go with the sending Angela away option. See you guys.
Who are you? And why are you speaking to me?
Angela said, annoyed.
I am his girlfriend. And the dog, she is mine. They are only waiting for me to go to bed. Right, babe?
Nora said while walking towards Allie, who was blinking confused, and standing on tiptoe, she kissed him quickly.
Come on, sweetie, Daddy is coming soon.
And Nora went into his apartment with Bella following her closely.
Your mother didn't tell me about your new relationship. Does she know it?
Angela asked, offended. She looked like someone punched her in the stomach, and even feeling slightly sorry about her, Allie was feeling good. He could feel Nora's kiss on his lips like if was imprinted to it. From inside the apartment, Nora shouted.
Maybe his mother doesn't like you that much as you thought.
And Bella barked in the back, supporting Nora.
Okay, Angela, you have to go now. I don't think this is appropriate anymore. The calls and showing up, it's really for the best if you move forward.
Allie was trying to move along, but he was so surprised about the whole situation that it was becoming hard to handle. He heard a soft laugh coming from the kitchen, and Bella came close to him, licking his hand and pulling his underwear to take him back inside.
Oh man, I'm just in my underwear.
Allie exclaimed, suddenly noticing it. The laugh in the kitchen grew louder, but muffled by what he imagined were Nora's hands.
I am leaving, and I know that one day you will see the huge mistake you are making, and you will regret from doing this to me.
Angela said in a cold blood tone and called the elevator. She looked at him with fury one last time before she left. Angela was angry, but he knew her well. She was going to play low, pretending to be a victim and making his parents and friends bother him, using her emotional blackmail that didn't work with Allie anymore, to convince them. When Allie closed the door, Nora stopped holding her laugh and let it go. It was so much laughing that it was contagious, and Allie started laughing with her. Nora said,
I am so sorry. I know it's not my business, but you seemed in trouble and I thought I could help you, as well as you told me you would do it for me.
It's okay. Thanks, Nora, that one was tough.
And suddenly, his laugh became a cry. Allie didn't understand why, but the tears were falling, with some hiccups, and he felt like a child for a second. Nora hugged him, pulling his head to her chest and holding him while he cried everything that was stuck inside. He felt embarrassed, but it was so comfortable in her arms that he didn't want her to let go. When he stopped crying, Nora cleaned his tears from his cheek and said,
Do you feel better, Allie?
Yes, I do. Thanks for today, and I am sorry for this mess.
Don't worry, I understand. It's always good to get rid of old emotions that don't serve us anymore. It helps to heal. And I am happy that I was here for you tonight.
Nora kissed him on his forehead, and while walking towards the door, she said,
You stay here tonight, Bella. Make Allie feel better, okay?
Bella barked, went to Nora to receive a hug and her forehead kiss of goodnight, and moved back to Allie, sitting on his foot.
Thanks, Nora. Good night.
It's my pleasure. Good night, Allie.
Allie was overwhelmed. He felt like he needed a blanket or a hot chocolate. Or another hug from Nora. His phone rang and it was his mother. Allie was done with dramas that night, so he turned off his phone. It was late, but he couldn't sleep. There were too many memories and thoughts about what he had lived with Angela and how painful it was. He loved her very much once, so it wasn't always bad. There were happy moments, but the painful things that happened had to be faced and to heal, as Nora said. He cried once more that night, and Bella was tied to him, really trying to make Allie feel better. Bella's presence was truly helpful. She followed him everywhere, and they cuddled to sleep. Allie dreamed that night, the same dream as the night before. He was going home. The castle was beautiful, huge, and had plenty of land around, fruit trees and flowers everywhere, and his heart was burning in excitement. He saw the movement from the servants and heard the bell they ring to announce his return home. They were all celebrating and welcoming him home. A man that he recognized came to him and helped Allie to get out of his horse, and exclaimed,
Master, you are back. Milady was praying for your safe return the whole morning. I believe she is still in the chapel.
Allie then ran towards the chapel, that he somehow knew the way. When he was almost there, he saw some ladies in waiting in front of the entrance, and suddenly, he saw her. It was Nora. She ran to him with tears in her eyes, and said,
My love, you are back, and safe. I am so happy. I have been waiting for you for so long. This only could be a dream coming true.
Nora cried over his shoulder, and he hugged her as if she meant the whole world. Between her tears, she covered him with kisses and promises of love, then she exclaimed,
We should thank for your return. Come, let's get into the chapel. Father, he is back. Safe as you told me he would be.
The priest was in front of the entrance with the women, and while he gets close it with his wife, a sense of knowledge crossed his mind. The priest then said,
Welcome, my lord. Our Lord assured me you would come back to us, and I'm very happy that this day finally came.
While the priest said his greetings to Allie, he recognized his voice. He was Bartholomew. As Allie held his hands to be blessed, his touch made all the memories come back to Allie's mind. Allie knew who he was, what that life meant, and other memories from distant places and times also returned to him. Allie opened his eyes feeling emotional and looked amazed at Bartholomew, standing in front of his bed. He had his eyes wet from tears and was mesmerized by the discoveries he made.
My friend, I am glad you finally recognize us. That's a sign of the awakening of your spirit, and that's the beginning of a new journey to you. Won't be easy, but it will be worthy.
Bartholomew said, with a smile. Bella then jumped over Allie, moving towards the chair, where he could see that lady from earlier, and he recognized her as his mother and from the time before, and with it came the understanding of what she was doing there.
She is adorable, isn't she? Bella knows me very well, because I have been taking care of your beloved soulmate for you, as I promised to you I would.
Mother, you protect Nora.
Yes, she is Nora's mentor, as I am yours.
Bartholomew answered to him, and in an impetus, Allie hugged him, kissing his hands, asking for blessings, as he was used to do when Bartholomew was a priest. Then he moved to his mother and allowed himself to lay his head over her lap next to Bella, and cry due to the overwhelming emotions. He could remember them all and all the people he loved. He could remember the love of his life, that was his sunshine and partner life after life for the past centuries, Nora. And she was back to his life again. Allie woke up, with his face full of tears, understanding that he was still on the other side when he saw them, but realizing that Bella was awake, laying her head on the chair as if his mother was still there. In his excitement, Allie couldn't sleep anymore that night. He wanted to go to Nora, kiss her and bring her home. But he knew it was crazy to try anything. It was required for him to have the patience to start over again, with this Nora, with all the love and resilience he can. Nora very likely would not remember him and everything they meant to each other, so his challenge now was to make everything right in their restart, knowing how important it was, and hope that her soul recognizes that loves him, as his recognized that loves her too. He went out very early, taking Bella with him to buy Nora flowers and a sweet card, thanking her for helping him the day before and borrowing her dog. Allie thought about a plushie or chocolate, but he didn't want to look too much as a Valentine gift. Suddenly, he had an intrusive thought.
What if she had a boyfriend?
Bella barked at him and an intuition came to him. If she had, she would not have kissed him like that. And Bartholomew was back officially, what was great. Or maybe his mother, that apparently was besties with Bella now. Another memory came to his mind, and he knew exactly what to do. Allie went after the perfect gift for Nora, and Bella started to jump all over, happy and pulling him as if she knew what he was planning. 1 hour later, Allie knocked on Nora's door.
Good morning. I just woke up, please ignore my laziness. Hi baby, did you sleep well? Did you make Allie happy? Oh, that's so sweet.
Bella had the flowers bouquet in her mouth, so Nora melted even before noticing the big box Allie was holding.
Come on in, Allie, wait, what do you have here?
That's another gift. This one from me. Bella just gave you the flowers.
And Allie walked inside her house, putting the box over the table for her. Nora approached the box, curious, and slowly opened. A fluffy puppy barked from inside, making Nora have a very funny cuteness attack on him and celebrate as a child on Christmas. It was a male, gray husky as they had before in their previous life, and gave them the couple, 2 beautiful dogs, as a wedding gift. They were a white female and the gray male that looked like a wolf.
Oh my, that's the best gift ever, thank you Allie. How did you know I wanted to adopt another dog? And it was exactly as my dream.
Bella told me. We are besties now.
Allie answered, feeling so happy and hopeful as he didn't feel in years.
I'm back. Okay, that's the first end. So in this end, Nora partnered up, even not knowing why she's doing it. She just spontaneously partnered up, and she kind of help him and make them to get closer faster. And I'm going to show the other, because so you can see, so I can comment. And I'm just going to say that my original alternative ending was that his soul doesn't recognize her, and then he will have to work for it, because is meant to be. So she's there and it will happen, but he will have to make it happen because he didn't recognize her at once. And then it was just going to be, harder because he wouldn't know what she meant. And also, like, his progression will be like slower because by recognizing her, he's like spirit awake, as Bartholomew said. So he just started like properly seeing Bartholomew, and saw his mother, which is the reason that like why Bella was so attached to him. Like his mother, which is Nora's mentor, was like making Bella to go, like, and even like adopting Bella because it was a resemble from their past life, so you could like help Nora to recognize him. It was like this they had in common. It's like something they had from the other life. The two like dogs, the couple of dogs that protect them. So they were like their partners and companions in the other life. So just saying that like Nora was doing Bella was doing all this stuff because his mother Anne, like from the other life, and was making it happen. And then he could see them, so that's the whole point. So like his evolution was going to be faster because he was capable to wake up his spirit, and that happened because he recognized Nora. So my original alternative ending, was like not recognizing her, but then I was so sad when I was writing that, like, this is so sad, that I was like, I don't think I want that. I don't think I want this ending. And then I just wrote something different. And for my book, because I'm adding to the book, I'm going to mix the two endings. So let's show you the alternative ending. Okay, so you can see how it works when she doesn't interfere. Okay, so I see you guys in 10 minutes.
Who are you? And why are you speaking to me?
Angela said, annoyed.
I am no one special. Sometimes I walk his dog as a kindness, and he fixed my bathtub when I need it.
Nora answered, keeping that smile. Allie didn't get what Nora wanted to do there, but he wasn't going to ask now.
He doesn't know how to do those things.
Angela said, making Allie even more angry at the situation.
Maybe he just doesn't want to do it for you.
Nora answered, closing the door behind her back. Bella cried silently, and Allie pet her to calm her down. When he did it, he noticed that woman was hugging Bella and looking concerned to Nora's door. He wasn't afraid of spirits, he was used to Bartholomew and all the other souls he had contacted in his studies. But the woman's expression was making him feel slightly anxious.
Allie, please let me in. You are in your underwear and your neighbor already saw you like this. Do you want to make a scene?
Angela was pushing and Allie knew it, but something inside him was so used to following her lead that it was hard to say no, even with his whole body rejecting her already. Bella was still with him, and she was growling low, without taking her eyes off Angela.
Can you make your dog to step back? She is scaring me.
And Bella walked back to let Angela in, but as soon as she was inside, Bella positioned her body between them, making sure Allie was protected behind her back. Angela started her same speech about how insensitive he was being with her and that he had to understand that they were meant for each other and everything she does is to help him to improve himself as a man. He wasn't listening to the bullshit, he was watching, mesmerized, all the shadows that followed her in. They were moving desperately, contained by a circle of energy, a shield that he imagined was cast by Bartholomew. Allie knew that spell very well, what made him feel better, but the shadows were the most interesting part. Terrifying, but interesting. The shadows were gross. One was a caricature of what was supposed to be a pretty face, but distorted in a way that made it disgusting. Another was melting down from her belly button and had the form of what could be a baby but looked like a leech. Some were despicable in a way that he couldn't even describe. Ali felt sorry for her and wished he could help somehow. But Bartholomew told him once.
People can only be helped when they ask for help. As long as they are comfortable in their misery, there is nothing we can do about it.
Ali, do you hear me? Hey, I am talking to you. I came all this way to talk to you. Can you please have the decency to hear me?
Ali looked at her and said, very calmly.
No, Angela, I can't. I have loved you and did my best, but that time passed. I have no wish of getting back together, no feeling left for you besides compassion about your pain, and I would appreciate it a lot if you left my house and never try to reach me again. Never. I also suggest you stop bothering my mother. There is nothing she can sew for you.
Angela was shocked. Ali couldn't remember seeing her like that, speechless, ever before. She always had something to say, but he was done listening. Ali went to the door and kept it open until Angela left. Before he closed the door, she said,
You will regret this, I promise you.
He wasn't bothered by her threat and shut that door forever, letting the feeling of relief take over him. He let his body fall on the sofa and felt a soft touch on his forehead, bringing him peace. His mentor, or maybe that woman, probably. Bella sat close to him and put her head over his lap, licking his hands and asking for petting. Ali thanked mentally Nora for letting her dog stay there and helped to make him feel better. Ali then heard a knock at his door and took a deep breath, hoping it wasn't Angela again. But this time, it was Nora.
Come on, Bella. Your mother is here for you.
Ali opened the door and Nora immediately put a box in his hands saying,
Let's see what streaming services you have. If it sucks, we can go to my place.
He looked down at the box and there was ice cream, a pot of chocolate spread, some Rice Krispies, treats for Bella and 2 pink fluffy blankets. Ali was overwhelmed. He felt like he needed a blanket or a hot chocolate, and that was like a dream that came true.
Okay, I have some options. Come in and let's see what you like.
They sat on the sofa with Bella in between and watched a Disney princess movie. Nora showed her tattoo, a tiny Mickey in her ankle, and they ate all the sugar she brought. In the end of the movie, Nora said,
Are you feeling better, Ali?
I am. Thanks for coming, Nora. I didn't notice I needed company, but it was really helpful. You are a good neighbor.
I am just helping you, as you promised you would do if I needed. Okay. I have to go. Bella, you stay and make Ali happy, alright? She has the best cuddle in the world, Ali, you will see it. And don't worry, you are in good hands.
And quickly kissing his forehead, Nora stood up and left, without giving Ali a chance to reply. Bella licked his face where Nora kissed him and he complained to her.
No, Bella, don't remove it. She may never kiss me again.
Bella barked, and he laughed, hugging her and feeling some tears in his eyes. There were too many memories and thoughts about what he had lived with Angela and how painful it was. He loved her very much once, so it wasn't always bad. There were happy moments, but the painful things that happened had to be faced and to heal. He cried that night to wash his sorrows one last time, and Bella was tied to him, really trying to make Ali feel better. Bella's presence was truly helpful. She followed him everywhere and they cuddled to sleep. Ali dreamed that night, the same dream as the night before. He was going home. The castle was beautiful, huge, and had plenty of land around, fruit trees and flowers everywhere, and his heart was burning in excitement. He saw the movement from the servants and heard the bell they ring to announce his return home. They were all celebrating and welcoming him home. A man that he recognized came to him and helped Ali to get out of his horse and exclaimed,
Master, you are back. Milady was praying for your safe return the whole morning. I believe she is still in the chapel.
Ali then ran towards the chapel, that he somehow knew the way. When he was almost there, he saw some ladies in waiting in front of the entrance, and suddenly, he saw her. It was Nora. She ran to him with tears in her eyes and said,
My love, you are back, and safe. I am so happy. I have been waiting for you for so long. This only could be a dream coming true.
Nora cried over his shoulder and he hugged her as if she meant the whole world. Between her tears, she covered him with kisses and promises of love, then she exclaimed,
We should thank for your return. Come, let's get into the chapel. Father, he is back. Safe as you told me he would be.
The priest was in front of the entrance with the women, and while he gets close it with his wife, a sense of knowledge crossed his mind. The priest then said,
Welcome, my lord. Our Lord assured me you would come back to us, and I'm very happy that this day finally came.
While the priest said his greetings to Ali, he recognized his voice. He was Bartholomew. As Ali held his hands to be blessed, his touch made all the memories come back to Ali's mind. Ali knew who he was, what that life meant, and other memories from distant places and times also returned to him. Ali opened his eyes feeling emotional and looked amazed at Bartholomew, standing in front of his bed. He had his eyes wet from tears and was mesmerized by the discoveries he made.
My friend, I am glad you finally recognize us. That's a sign of the awakening of your spirit, and that's the beginning of a new journey to you. Won't be easy, but it will be worthy.
Bartholomew said, with a smile. Bella then jumped over Ali, moving towards the chair, where he could see that lady from earlier, and he recognized her as his mother and from the time before, and with it came the understanding of what she was doing there.
She is adorable, isn't she? Bella knows me very well, because I have been taking care of your beloved soulmate for you, as I promised to you I would.
Mother, you protect Nora.
Yes, she is Nora's mentor, as I am yours.
Bartholomew answered to him, and in an impetus, Ali hugged him, kissing his hands asking for blessings as he was used to do when Bartholomew was a priest. Then he moved to his mother and allowed himself to lay his head over her lap next to Bella, and cry due to the overwhelming emotions. He could remember them all and all the people he loved. He could remember the love of his life, that was his sunshine and partner life after life for the past centuries, Nora. And she was back to his life again. Ali woke up, with his face full of tears, understanding that he was still on the other side when he saw them, but realizing that Bella was awake, laying her head on the chair as if his mother was still there. In his excitement, Ali couldn't sleep anymore that night. He wanted to go to Nora, kiss her and bring her home. But he knew it was crazy to try anything. It was required for him to have the patience to start over again, with this Nora, with all the love and resilience he can. Nora very likely would not remember him and everything they meant to each other, so his challenge now was to make everything right in their restart, knowing how important it was, and hope that her soul recognizes that loves him, as his recognized that loves her too. He went out very early, taking Bella with him to buy Nora flowers and a sweet card, thanking her for helping him the day before and borrowing her dog. Ali thought about a plushie or chocolate, but he didn't want to look too much as a Valentine gift. Suddenly, he had an intrusive thought.
What if she had a boyfriend?
Bella barked at him and an intuition came to him. She is your soulmate and in your life at the correct time. And Bartholomew was back officially, what was great. Or maybe his mother, that apparently was besties with Bella now. Another memory came to his mind, and he knew exactly what to do. Ali went after the perfect gift for Nora, and Bella started to jump all over, happy and pulling him as if she knew what he was planning. 1 hour later, Ali knocked on Nora's door.
Good morning. I just woke up, please ignore my laziness. Hi baby, did you sleep well? Did you make Ali happy? Oh, that's so sweet.
Bella had the flowers bouquet in her mouth, so Nora melted even before noticing the big box Ali was holding.
Come on in, Ali. Wait, what do you have here?
That's another gift. This one for me. Bella just gave you the flowers.
And Ali walked inside her house, putting the box over the table for her. Nora approached the box, curious, and slowly opened. A fluffy puppy barked from inside, making Nora have a very funny cuteness attack on him and celebrate as a child on Christmas. It was a male, gray husky as they had before in their previous life, and gave them the couple, 2 beautiful dogs, as a wedding gift. They were a white female and the gray male that looked like a wolf.
Oh my, that's the best gift ever, thank you Ali. How did you know I wanted to adopt another dog? And it was exactly as my dream.
Bella told me. We are besties now.
Allie answered, feeling so happy and hopeful as he didn't feel in years.
I'm back again. Okay, so this alternative ending was just to show that, like, how it was going to go if she didn't, like, step back. So he had to solve by himself, but he wasn't by himself because his mentor was helping. So it was kind of showing that his spirituality was going to take care of it. Not taking care of it, I mean, he had to do it anyway. He had to send Angela away anyway. Both ways, he had to send Angela away because it was like his choice. But then in one case, he had this, like, the explicit support of Nora, and the other one, the explicit support of spirituality. They were, like, both there anyways. So, like, the alternative that I was going to write, that I just refused because I didn't want to have it wasn't a bad ending, it was just like a long, because he wasn't going to recognize her, so his spirituality will have to deal with it and, like, lead him to the right thing to do, like lead him to the right path so he could, like, finally get to her. But then it was going to take time. It was going to take, like, a long time until he realized it, build kind of build a relationship, maybe a friendship or something, and then become something else later, or have a relationship and not understand how important it was, and then that could, like, just make them make things harder, just make things harder, because, like, what was going to kind of solve was, like, him, or in this case him, to, like, for his soul to awake and, like, recognize her, pretty much. So if he didn't do immediately, then it was going to take a while for him to do it. That's, like, that was the alternative ending. It was going to take a while for him to recognize her spirit. It was just going to be a longer process, like, harder, and he'll be, like, more attached to the past, like, having this pain and issues regarding Angela too. So it was just going to, to be harder, you know what I mean? And then, like, the alternative was the spirituality guiding him to the right path. And I didn't want it to, like, I wanted to show that. So it was pretty much like the spirituality was, like, showing him, like, this is who Angela is, and this, like, let's say, like, in the alternative, we're going to happen in months, maybe, it's going to be, like, a longer process until he, like, truly awake, like, months, maybe years, to understand, so it was like the alternative ending was, like, a perspective of, like, he was going to have a dream, but he wasn't going to remember. The dream was the same. So he wasn't going to remember the dream. And that means that he was like, we will know that she's the love of his life, and he will have to, like, work for it. And then Bartholomew would have this conversation with Anne. So you'll be like, we have to be careful and, like, make sure that they are, like, doing things right, that, like, they are not going to hurt each other because they belong to each other, something like that. This sort of conversation, like, how are we going to proceed to have to put them together, something like it was going to go in this way, like it will be like a happy ending but a long ending. It was going to end like, we know she's the love of his life, but he can't remember. He thinks he's just like her neighbor. And then you have, like, the spirituality talking about it and how are we going to, direct this. And I just wanted to do, like, the old sad part, I didn't want to, I didn't want to, like, a long term thing. Just got me, I felt sad about it. When I was writing, I felt sad, and I was like, no, he's going to remember. So the only thing that I changed, like, last minute was the end, that he wasn't going to remember the dream. and he was going to like next day, hi Nora, hey, thank you for like letting me let me just, you know, take you for dinner or something to pay back because you're like so nice to me. And then they had like this regular dating thing without the awakening of his soul. That was like the and then like you heard the spirits talking to each other like, how are we going to do that? So, but I didn't want to do it. I was like, no, that's so sad. They're just going, you know, let the guy remember, so you know he can do things properly. And maybe she's going to like learn, like, I don't know, remember to you. I didn't plan this part because it's about Ellie, but like maybe she was, you know, remember as well, and things were going to be extra fast if I made this a novel or something. Because like lots of ideas, not all of them getting to the story, but that was like that was pretty much it. So he's like, he just like, I make him understand anyway. I make him just get it anyway. Just remember her, don't screw, you know. And then, but it was going to be a happy ending anyway. It's just going to be like the spirituality working on them with time, and then with time they were going to be together. So it's like no win-win situation. I just like refuse to write the end that he doesn't remember. I start writing and I was like, no, too sad, no. Anyway, that was the story, and I really like it, so I'm probably going to put it together, the like the end of the story, like better, like getting a little bit of both of my endings, and it's going to my book. Okay, and that's it. So just because I'm here, I'm going to like say goodbye to you guys, and I see you next week. But I'm going to leave you with my like the video about my book that is going to be launched on 12/12. Okay, a little bit about the roots of the fallen. Okay, and well, I see you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here with me and making me company. I hope you like the story, and that's it. Okay, thank you.
Bloodwood Chronicles, Book 1. The Eternal Cycle of Totems, The Battle for the Life Tree. The Bloodwood Chronicles unfolds in a land where magic, spirits, and fierce tribal loyalty collide. At the heart of the Bloodwood Forest stands the Life Tree, an ancient entity that can resurrect a tribe's totem, legendary spirits of strength and protection. But these totems, brought back to life, are far from obedient guardians. With every rebirth, they return with eccentricities, ranging from playful mischief to bizarre whims that often complicate their missions. As battles rage, old rivalries resurface, and alliances teeter on the brink, a question haunts every tribe: can anyone truly control the Life Tree and the chaotic spirits it awakens? Or will the tribes be consumed by the very power they crave, leaving only the blood seeds to remember their struggles? Roots of the Fallen. The Bloodwood Tribes. The Vulture Karash, known for their cunning and strategic patience, they are watchers and opportunists, always waiting for the perfect moment to strike or retreat. The Owl Morokai, esteemed as wise yet secretive, they move like shadows and are believed to hold knowledge of ancient secrets that even the Life Tree may not reveal. The Snake Jernor, revered for their stealth and subtlety, they are known for their mastery in strategy and diplomacy, often weaving alliances and betrayals like a web. The Panther Tamrock, a proud and powerful tribe, known for their strength and honor in battle. Their reputation for swift, fierce combat inspires both respect and fear. The Monkey Zemak, playful and clever, they thrive on adaptability and trickery, often underestimated by others, but known for their quick thinking and unpredictability. Bloodwood Chronicles is a tale of ancestral magic, tribal honor, and the untamable forces that protect or destroy, as fate binds every branch, leaf, and root of the Bloodwood to its mysterious, powerful guardians.
Check it out, the author's published books. Step into worlds of wonder and fear with 2 captivating reads. Forest the Storyteller enchants with ancient, mystical tales spun by a wise witch deep in the woods, a perfect escape for fantasy lovers. For horror enthusiasts, The Nightmare delivers spine-chilling tales that come alive every October in the October Haunting series, crafted to thrill and haunt long after the pages are turned. Both books are must-reads for anyone craving an unforgettable journey into the magical and the macabre.